What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 331 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined as always by Ma Spaghetti, a.k.a. Willie Sailor.
I ain't looking like Ma Spaghetti today.
I know. That hat is interesting. There you go. Pull it down.
I know, but then it gets, the shadow.
No, you're
what is
good,
Nomad wearing?
Nomad's got his classic Ankeny Wrestling Club. Got that at Agony and Ames. To my left, Kyle Brackey. We were synced up in our ASICS gear today. And today, we'll go to Willie's home state to start the show because Penn State had Media Day and a couple interesting nuggets. You know, they're pretty closed off typically, but you got a little something from Kale. And probably the most notable piece of news coming out of Penn State Media Day is RBY 133 right away. And really the question there was when for Roman, and we're finding out right away. We're going to see RBY. He had a lot of good stuff to say about Roman. So I think if there's any question on his readiness, I think maybe they'd wait a little bit. But the fact that he's going to get plugged in immediately, I think says a lot about where he's at in his early time. He talked about him being there since summer school. So feel really good about RBY. He's on my fantasy team. So obviously that's super important. And I already knew this would be happening because I just have such great fantasy judgment. Additionally, Brady Berge on his way down to 149. Now, as we know, 1.5% per week. You all know the rules, kids. So that's like 2 pounds a week for Brady. That's why we'll see Verclearen against Kent State. They'll both go to the Keystone Classic, and then we'll see what happens from there. Thoughts on 3349, Willie Sailor?
It's not surprising to me that RBY is the guy. Even right away, I don't know. I think RBY is a mature kid and a hard worker and the best option. I think it's what we expected, right? Probably internally, anyway. We expected 125 to take its time, and 133 to be Roman sooner than later, and it's sooner. So now we just have to wonder what they're going to do at 25.
Wonder what they'll do. So he discussed that. He said it's going to be Schnupp first bit. They're going to send Teskey and Gavin to the opens, see how they do. I'm sure they'll all go to the scuffle, which that'll be some added intrigue to the Southern Scuffle because a couple things. It's Penn State versus Oklahoma State. But those two guys are going to be unattached. So let's say Gavin has a nice run or Brody has a nice run. Their points won't really count. But then we'll do that fun, like we'll add on their points and what it would have meant anyways. But two, it'll have wrestle-off import, as I'm sure it will at 149 and 285 potentially. So really 3 weights that are going to be hotly contested. I feel like there's no other weight. There's not going to be a Kassar Shakur situation. Now it's Kassar Neville's situation at 285, but I'm excited that we're gonna get to see Gavin Teskey kind of play out in the opens. That'll be a fun little story to follow. As on paper you say, hey, this is probably Gavin, but Teskey's a worker, and he's gonna be a tough guy eventually. I don't know if this year is his year to make an impact at D1, but you look at 125 and there's room for a talented true freshman to make noise at this weight, especially with Soriano and Fix now up at 125 pounds. There's room there, and if one of these guys puts it all together, they're going to be tough. And Kale said, that he has no issues taking his time. He's like, we have 5 months to make this decision. And remember, Kassar beat Moore on basically was Ohio State Penn State like the last week of wrestling? It was right
near the end of the year, yeah.
It was one of the last. No, because I think Buffalo was their last one. But basically, the last event for them. And they were still going back and forth. So I think we're going to see that back and forth at a couple of those weights. And but ultimately what Kale can't do at 25, or probably won't do, he could do it if he wanted to just be stupid, is to start – it would be. He won't do it. But like start Gavin 1 week in a duel and then Teskey. You don't want to do that back and forth thing with guys that are in redshirt. He's going to want to make a definitive decision and probably go with that guy throughout. So he won't do that. That's my plan.
Yeah, 125. That's why I'm, when we're talking about Malik Heinzelman, I mean, I don't think he's that far off based on
No.
what the composition of the weight is. Um, and I think Teskey or Gavin could be the same thing. Now, the guy at 25 to me is Patrick Glory,
Oh
the
yeah.
freshman Impact guy.
Yeah, if I had to say, yeah, at this weight, I mean, it helps that we've seen him kind of surpass Gavin Teasdale, but I just not just watching him wrestle and his skill and his talent. I just think there's something mentally about him that is pretty special. He just seems like a winner, and I like that about Glory. So yeah, he's definitely someone that's going to be in the mix. And okay, I mean, even number 5, Zeke Moisey, as good as good moments as he's had in his career, last year he lost to Gramacki from Clarion, right? He takes losses. So if that's your number 5 guy, number 6 is Ryan Milhoff, who also had his share of odd moments last year. And, he lost to Purdue. Schroeder, who I actually am particularly high on. I think Schroeder's a really tough guy. But he lost to Matt and Schwarm last year to Milhoff. So these guys are going to be right in there. We see it every year with these freshmen. And it's kind of it's two-edged for Penn State in this way because, 133 is, not the ideal weight to have a true freshman.
No.
It's like you want a true freshman where you're going to need some points to be at a 125 or a 197. So Roman's going to be in that 33. He's just going to have to be really, really good if you're going to get production. But on the other side, they have a 125 true freshman situation in a weight that's particularly beneficial. So I think it balances itself out. And also, if you had to choose one of those weights to have one of those guys, you'd rather have Roman be manning 33 than the opposite situation. So that's kind of my thoughts.
And with 25, and we've talked about this, I've done this in a couple articles, we've talked about this on here, they shouldn't use Schnupp all year because the way that they're going to have to juggle the red shirts of Teskey, Teasdale, and RBY, they need to have one of Teskey or Teasdale.
Buziello.
Right, yeah. I wouldn't even factor in him because he's coming next year. Well, theoretically, he might gray shirt. But, as a bunch of their guys are doing. But, yeah, they almost have to, definitely roll one of those guys out this year so that they can continue to balance those red shirts and then, see how big Nick Lee gets and if Roman grows and if Teasdale grows, Teskey goes, right? Yeah. So one of them will have to go this year.
Yeah, exactly. When they started getting all these recruits, we kind of immediately pointed to this year as they're all going to have to go right away and then start juggling stuff to make it work. So you're exactly right. I think they are all going to be going, which is exciting. I love it when true freshmen go from high school straight into the mix. Bo Nickel, large human, over 200 pounds, going to be adequately sized and skilled for 197 pounds. So he got bigger, as he's tended to do. Started at 174, 84 2 years, now finishing his career at 97. The little Quentin Wright-esque. Actually, it's the exact path of Quentin. Quentin went 74, 84, 84, 97. Wow.
And then, so it sounds like you mentioned this for 149. Verclaren this week, Berge, I guess, maybe can't be at 149 based on the descent plans, kind of what Kale intimated.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was maybe some stuff said about alternating duels. So Verclaren will go this week. They'll both be at Keystone. And then they have 4 total duels before Scuffle. So they could see Verclaren twice, Berge twice, with 2 tournaments with attached guys in Keystone and Scuffle. So that's a good bit of data for them at 149. Obviously, both those guys have already used their red shirts, so they'll make a decision probably right at the beginning of January.
And one interesting thing there that could throw us a curveball in terms of our perception for that weight is, does Kale give Brady, they do the Friday, Sunday weigh-ins, does he give Brady one of those days off in terms of making weight twice if it's really a tough pull? And then we see Jared a little bit more potentially, but it may not mean all that much other than, hey, we want to spell this guy, and we're keeping Jared ready. And it's good to keep it'll keep Brady hungry and continuing to, well, I think hunger will be no issue this year at 49 for him, but in the not food sense, keep him super competitive.
And yeah, to your point about keeping Verclaren ready, I mean, if he ends up doing better, right, and we assume that Berge's going to go up to 57 next year anyway, so getting him those starts and maybe whether or not it's for Berge's weight or just getting him starts in general, but I think it'll be valuable for them to kind of go back and forth with both of those guys. And obviously they'll figure it out.
Okay. Did you guys? I know Nomad listened to Kale press conference. Did you, Willie?
No.
Wow. What kind of Penn State homer are you? You got to listen to your man.
Well, you don't. There's not much that comes out of it most of the time.
Well, no, it was good.
Couple things.
I learned a lot. I thought it was good. One of my favorite moment, and Kale's Kale's funny in this way. So the hands to the face rule may as well be called the Zane Rutherford rule, right? Like that's right. Everyone knows. The picture for Tuesday's FRL is literally Zane Rutherford's face. I just love to do it to Nomad right now. Just smash his face.
Love
You
that.
won't.
Right.
You won't.
Look at me. Look at me. Right here. Boom, Micah Jordan. It's literally that. Okay. And so Cal says
That was weird.
that Zane dealt with this a lot in terms of guys coming to his face. So, and you know Kale knows that Zane
Kale knows.
Yeah.
That's Kale's version of humor.
That's vintage Kale. He's like, you know what? They say that Zane did this. I'm going to say they actually did it to him. And just mess with everyone's minds. And I found it funny. So I got your joke, Kale, and I think you're a pretty funny guy. Because I'm sure Zane did deal with it some. I'm sure there were many people, for the moments they were actually neutral with Zane and not taken down and getting their legs and arms ripped off, there were times he probably got popped in the eyeball a time or two. So that was interesting. But other than that, I think those were the main takeaways. I mean, their lineup, 125, we'll see, 33 RBY, Nick Lee, 41, 49, Verclair and Berge, as we mentioned. Then they'll go Nolf, Chenzo, Hall, Shakur, Bo, and then Kassar Nevels. And so we'll see.
What other lineups out there are still kind of nebulous? Just Oklahoma State?
Ohio State for sure.
A lot.
Ohio State with a couple, yeah.
I think a lot. Ohio State, Michigan, Oklahoma State.
Is Michigan, though, or is that just us like kind of hoping for a little...
Fair point. It's I guess more fan and media conjecture than actual like things from coming out of Bromette saying, yeah, well, we got to decide 285. So yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, you're three of your top four expected trophy teams in Penn State, Ohio State, and Oklahoma State aren't decided. So
right. So yeah, Oklahoma State with Gefeller and Joe Smith. Who knows what's going to happen with him? They say he's real big. We'll find out. But yeah, I don't think it's especially in the balance any more than any other year. But yeah, definitely some interesting roster battles to come. Iowa dealing with the case of the ouchies. Not going to have their full lineup. Sounds like, I don't think this is official, or like I don't think Iowa has released this, but it sounds like Kimmer's out this weekend.
well, they did. They
put a list of probables out, and he was not listed.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's not listed, and then Tom Brand said that Warner was definitely out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like he could be hurt. Tom said that, he's coming back a freestyle, but Junior Worlds were like a long time ago. So I don't know. Maybe he's just not up to speed yet, or he took some time off after that, or something.
I don't know. I think he eyeballed the early part of the season, and it's no picnic for Jacob. And maybe you say,
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
let's not.
It was supposed to be Connell, and then Bo Nickel. I think. Or not
No.
Well, he left open the possibility. Coach Brands left open the possibility that he could miss the Princeton duel as well.
The Princeton. And that's what
Brucky.
it was.
Yeah.
So he would go Brucky, Brunner, Willie Miklas, Chris Weiler, or whoever they're starting for his first duel. So that's basically 1, 2, 3, 5 out of his first 6 matches would be against ranked top 15-ish probably guys. So that's not simple. But sadly, Kyle Cannell's also out because he hurt his shoulder against Lord knows who. Also, I have a request. Since they got rid of the Iowa City duels, and even though this match is at Kent State and it's called the Frenzy at the Fieldhouse, I would like to call this the Iowa City duels. Willie, your thoughts?
I think that would be appropriate. I also have a request.
Okay.
They're listing the dealership and Wilkie at the same weight.
Wow.
So now it's like Steve Bowman, Wilkie, Chevy, Dodge, Oldsmobile.
Zero cash.
I would like
zero cash down.
Yeah. So I would like the fans of FRL
that
to
one.
tweet us what they think are the best potential dealership names in college wrestling.
Okay.
Oh my lord.
That's good. That's good. I love nothing's stopping Steve Bowman, Chevy Dodge. Okay, so yeah, Iowa City Duels are back. They're just in Kent State. It's here. Why do we love Iowa City Duels? It's Iowa wrestling teams that they're way better than. Okay, on a Friday afternoon. That's basically what we're getting.
It's a little later in the day than Iowa City Duels.
I know those started at about 8 a.m. sharp. Those are normally wrapped up by about 11:30.
Get a nice 5 a.m. weigh in.
Yep, 5 a.m. weigh-in, classic.
Against like Iowa Lakes or something.
Iowa Lakes. There were Lakes, Central Community College, Cornell. You always get excited, but then it's like Cornell College. Okay, it's fine. But yeah, so this is close enough. If this is what we're left with, this is now the Iowa City Duels. They're just in Kent, Ohio. We'll deal with it. All right, exciting things. Hey, thank you all for your great sauna feedback. Coach Brands, Coach Guerrero, Coach Steiner.
Yeah.
They say we should keep fighting the fight. So
There were a couple things. I don't know how much we talked about it, if we talked about it all. The day before weigh-ins that occurred at the time versus the 1 hour weigh-in. Listen, I gave credit for wrestling people, wrestling coaches and athletes and trainers. I gave them credit for being more proactive and being more healthy and cutting less weight, which is true. They all are. But the bottom line is, when there's a 1 hour, 2 hour weigh-in, you cut less weight.
yes,
Right? I mean, when these kids died and it was the day before weigh-ins, and you could cut 40 pounds, recover over 24 hours, and still
Did you just say
weigh in.
40?
We said
Huh?
24.
Well, something
said-
ridiculous.
All right, 50.
No, he said 40.
He said 40.
Said 40?
He said 40 pounds.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a Willie Saylor story.
Yeah. So, it's kind of built in with the 2 hour weigh-in and 1 hour weigh-in. It's built in that it's going to be safer.
Yes. Yeah, that helps a lot. Okay, and also it was mentioned to me that one of the kids that passed away had like an undiagnosed heart condition. They were all on creatine, which was like no one knew anything hardly about creatine. It's crazy when you think about creatine came on the scene like 96, and then schools were just giving it out like with the sweats and the water bottles, like creatine, which like makes you retain water, does a lot of stuff. So there were a lot of factors going on there at that time. But yeah,
I was gonna ask about the like a heart condition or some medical condition. You were on a roll, so
yeah.
you did like 20 minutes on, which was great. But yeah, I was gonna ask about that because that's the other thing. If there's a guy with an undiagnosed heart condition or something, and then you combine all those things, then it's hard to. I mean, obviously he was doing it the wrong way too, but that's just a bad cocktail.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I think a lot of the deaths were. It was a cocktail of things. It was no food, no water, plastics, exercise bike, heated room, creatine. And yeah, so
And 24-hour weigh-ins.
24-hour weigh-ins.
So they were trying to pull 25 pounds.
And ignorance in general about it seems like 1997 doesn't sound like that long ago, but for where we were in terms of nutrition, health, and just the way the culture of the sport is very different. Okay. Let's talk a little about the weekend to come, and then we've got a lot of questions from friends because we have a growing number of friends, guys. And it's very exciting.
We keep getting more friends.
How about Sam Herring? I don't want to jump to it right away, but that was a pretty magical moment in FRL for us to discover. Dan Dennis texted me, name drop, after the show. He's like, because this Sam Herring kid's from Tennessee. He's like, no, this kid is an absolute stud from Memphis. So learned a little bit about Sam. He's got a good question. We'll get to it later. First up, we've got a pretty salty weekend of wrestling. We got today, Northern Illinois and North Dakota State. And Willie put the lines in here for BetDSI. You can wager your wages away if you would like to on betdsi.com. Please gamble responsibly if that's what you choose to do. But tomorrow is when we've got the Iowa-Kent State. Any particular matchups we're looking forward to or debuts? We'll see Spencer DeSanto, 1-2 punch. Anything you guys are particularly fired up for?
I mean, DeSanto in Iowa singlet, Lugo in an Iowa singlet, guys changing weights, Caleb Young dropping down, Cash Wilkie dropping down. So it's all interesting. And then we'll get to see a look at some backups, right? We'll get to see Miles Wilson, Connor Corbin, Aaron Costello because Stoll's out as well. So we'll get to see some guys we're maybe not used to seeing and some guys we haven't seen in Iowa singlet before.
Caleb Young might be the one for me. I want to see what that looks like at 157. He smacked up Moody. Man, that
close one with Glosser.
We've kind of discussed. Yeah, Glosser's a tough dude. I really like him a lot.
We're sending him on a trip.
Glosser? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
There's 4 starters from PA in the Iowa lineup, which is more than Penn State's going to have.
Someone made that point. That's very interesting.
I've been saying it for a while. He
said it first.
They're going to have Spencer, DeSanto, Murin, Caleb Young, and Kemmer. They're going to have 6 guys from Pennsylvania, and then just one real starter from Iowa and Wilkie. Now Corbin and Costello are going to be going this weekend, but as far as guys you're going to see at the end of the year, basically it's only going to be Wilkie from Iowa.
And
then they got a whole bunch of Minnesota guys coming in. They've obviously got Stoll.
Pennsylvania Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
Penn State Hawkeyes. So, yeah, that's interesting note. Cale and Penn State have had the luxury of basically being able to pluck whoever they want. And as Willie has been mentioning, it's the beginning of the end for the state of Pennsylvania wrestling. They're down big time, and there's no end in sight, according to Willie Saylor. So Cale's going to have to change things up a little bit, and I think he's going to continue to recruit everyone, and they'll probably still get a bunch of really good dudes. Looking at journeymen, a couple interesting potential matchups. Nothing is set, or guys I'm curious to watch. 141, Dom Demas. He'll be in the mix potentially with Nate Limick, Sam Turner, who's down from 149 to 141 for Wyoming. Ryan Pomrinka is pretty solid for Lehigh. Dom Demas, a really exciting guy. And also for Oklahoma, really like Anthony Mantanona, and he's going to be potentially with some pretty tough dudes himself. Jordan Cutler, Dylan Leidy, Kimball Bash, and Ben Harvey, all in the mix there at 174 at Journeyman Classic. No, we don't know if they'll all necessarily hit, but they're all going, right? So that's pretty exciting stuff. I'm curious I think Oklahoma's an interesting team to follow this year as Roselli.
I do too.
Roselli enters into got times where it's more established his team than the Cody era.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the kind of litmus year. Like, now we're going to see his team. They got some, his recruits. They got a couple transfers. A kid from Eastern Michigan, I think, right? Yeah. So it's an interesting year for Lou and Oklahoma.
Yep. So looking forward to watching him. Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, at 97, so we saw, speaking of Oklahoma, Jake Woodley won Michigan State Open, so that was good for him. And then Chris Weiler had a not-so-good Princeton Open. So how is he going to bounce back from that? Was that just, a bad day, or is there something more going on there for the year? And then a couple other tough guys, right, in Malik McDonald, Rocco Kaywood. So
I may have been a year early with Malik McDonald. I was pretty high on him a year ago. And some of you, haters and losers, would say, you should get off the Malik train. Well, you know what? I'm back on it. Actually, I'm not back on it. I'm still on it. Am I conducting it? No. But I'm on the train. I am a passenger on the Malik McDonald train. I have a ticket. I'm there.
Boy, did he was at heavyweight last year, though.
Some, yes. But now he's at 197, and I think we're going to see Malik McDonald have a nice year. And if not, I'm not surprised.
What about another guy that you have always been high on, Max Lyon?
Max Lyon.
Lion tamer.
You know,
He lost to somebody this weekend.
he did. I'm still in. I'm still on that train. But I'm like on top
You're
of
on
it.
so many trains.
Yes, I'm big on rail travel. I think it's the future. But yeah, with Max, the ticket was cheap, right? So I'm just not gonna get. Why would I get off? I still think there's potential there. He's only a sophomore. Give him time.
True sophomore.
Sometimes it takes 6-7 years for that college to get used to the college grind.
A lot of people go to college for 7 years.
6-7. Well, Willie did for sure.
Why wouldn't you?
But actually, you mentioned 184, a potential Ryan Price Nick Renan matchup, which we're all excited to see what Renan is this year up at 184. He made Final X. That was kind of really surprising. And where does he fit? Is he ready to have that same impact in folk style? I think this will be a very close, low scoring match. Probably won't actually be that exciting because both guys are super good hand fighters and positional and not wild and crazy kids. So, but I think it'll be a good match if we get it. Also, really like Corey Hazel. He kind of had some nice moments at NCAAs. Almost beat Dominic Abinator, and we'll see. Lockhaven's a program on the rise. So what's he going to be able to do? He's definitely going to be tested this weekend at Journeyman.
I was going to say, I'm excited to see Lockhaven. Obviously, Marsteller, we always want to watch him. But, yeah, how are they going to do coming off of good NCAAs where Perry made the finals and Marsteller got fourth? So how's the rest of the team going to look? Obviously, Perry's coaching there now. So, yeah, Coach Moore, Coach Carr. See how the Eagles are looking. Bald Eagles. I'm actually wearing my Lockhaven shirt right now.
Wow, take off your shirt right now.
Look.
Prove it.
Look.
Wow,
Right.
NC State and wow,
Yeah.
double bagged it. Okay,
I got NC State and Lockhaven on.
all right.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of good duels this week. A lot of good competitive duels. Of course, most of them are at Journeyman, but then you also have. I'm interested to see Edinburgh. I know that's going to surprise people because they had this mass exodus, but they performed well at Michigan State Open. Most of them were in the freshman sophomore division, but I don't know. I'm kind of rooting for them.
Oh yeah.
Maybe part of my optimism is because I'm rooting for them, but part of the optimism is I think there's reason to be optimistic. They have some talent there. They recruited okay the past few years, and they performed well. So they have who do they have this week? They have Wyoming, and I think in a duel I think it'll be closer than what I maybe thought coming into the season. Campbell and Bradkey's fighting Greenlees of Ohio. I think that's going to be a better than anticipated duel. I think it's going to be competitive. Virginia has a couple good duels. Drexel has a couple good duels.
We see Rutgers in action again.
Yeah, and then they all Sunday, right? They all have these pool matches, right? At Journeyman.
Yeah, so it's typically just two different sets of teams for the most part. One group does the duels, and then for the most part they leave, and the other group does the kind of individual round robin thing that they do at Journeyman. So should be good. Should be some good competition.
Well, another one, getting back, me and Christian yesterday talked about like an injury report thing. One that, so Utah Valley will be there this weekend, but Taylor Lamont not wrestling this season. I know some people probably aren't aware of that yet, but no Taylor Lamont this weekend or the whole year, probably.
Right. Grant Lamont, though.
Yeah.
We always have Grant.
I like Grant Lamont.
Okay. All right. What else we got? We got Arizona State, South Dakota State. A lot of talent in those teams. Where they will hit, I'm not sure. 149 could be juicy with Maruka and apparently Henry Pohlmeyer. He beats who did he beat? He beat someone good. Tommy Thorne, who is a difficult guy to rank, to say the least. He is the guy that gets a lot of people ranked because, wow, you beat All-American Tommy Thorne, and Tommy Thorne has beaten good guys, and last year he beat Joey McKenna. But beyond that, Tommy Thorne can be very inconsistent and difficult to rank, so he loses to someone like Pohlmeyer.
Did Maruka lose his wrestle off?
Yes.
He did. Was this at 174, Nomad?
Nope.
Because you think Ja'Cory Teemer's a 74-pounder.
You lied about that. I said he was 65.
All right, 84, fine. But yes, Teemer beats Maruka at the wrestle-off, but I don't think we'll see Teemer
No,
this
I
year,
don't
right?
think so either. It's just a weird result.
Is it weird?
I think that's pretty weird.
I don't. Ja'Cory Teemer's like blue chip, next level.
Corey
recruit.
Bintrill, man, come on.
That doesn't surprise me.
That doesn't surprise you that he beat Josh Maruka.
No, it's not Josh Shields.
I know that, but it's still pretty surprising.
I just think people get them confused, and I don't know. Let me look at Maruka's. He had some losses.
Listen, didn't Maruka beat? Oh no, it was Shields. But Maruka had a good year last year.
See? Now he's fine. He got majored by Jarrett Deegan.
He did?
Which
Yes.
is maybe Dagan, by the way.
It may be Deegan after all these years of Deegan. He was pretty
and
solid.
Maruka at 49. That's like a low post battle.
He lost to Trey Grine last year. So if you can lose to Trey Grine of Tiffin University, I dare say that Ja'Cory
It's
Teemer's
surprising to
within
me.
striking
I don't
distance.
care what you say.
You can be surprised. I can be not as surprised. And we could still be friends after all this. You know, that's the beauty of podcasting. Wow.
I don't know. I find it encouraging. I don't know if I find it surprising, but I find it encouraging. I mean, Maruka's a guy that he has experience. He's
What happened to Maruka last year at 49?
He got beat up by
Cerces.
Oh, yeah.
T-shirts.
So what did they call him at that duel? Schuyler versus Arizona State had the duel against Lehigh, and they basically said every name wrong, including and obviously Cerces.
Did they say Khalid Valenzuela?
It was Schuyler. It was Lehigh.
But they called him Schuyler because we call it Schuyler alert. But I forget what they said. They had a pretty funny one for Cerces. Anyway, all right, that's that. That's the Maruka Teemer update there, and we'll see. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Ja'Cory Teemer becomes in the future. Are we ready for question? What?
No, I got a couple. Well, I got a couple questions.
Get it.
Zeke Boise -3.5. Louis Hayes.
Well,
who you putting your 5 Shroot bucks on?
Louis making weight?
Yeah, we're gonna need Louis at 125.0 here.
All right.
That's gonna be important. It's a duel. Is it the first duel? I don't know. I'm thinking.
He didn't wrestle last week.
I'm thinking. Normally, I take the points. I think I should take the points. You know what? I'm taking the points. Give me Louis plus 3.5. I just count on Zeke being Zeke.
Chad Red -4.5. Sam Krivas.
That's a lot of points. It's a lot of points. Does he catch him in one cradle? Here's the thing. Red gets the cradles off guys that shoot. Sam Krivas doesn't shoot. Going to make it tough. Therefore, he's going to have to catch him in a scramble or something. I'm going to say, you know what? UVA is going to cover a lot of spreads. I'm going to say they cover.
Well, Chad doesn't score a lot of points. Right?
No.
And
he's got that big move capability.
Sammy doesn't shoot much, but Sammy just got beat by somebody not great last week.
Let's go to the videotape. Who was that?
Who did Sam lose to? Like somebody really not good.
I don't know. Pull it up.
We
have to do all your research?
Was it in the Indiana match, Will? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
All right, this is bad radio.
Paul Conrath, I think.
Oh, he did lose Paul. He lost Paul Conrath 10-3.
All right, forget it. Chad Red, pinfall.
All right, last one. Isaiah White, 2.5. Cam Coy. Isaiah doesn't score points either.
Yeah, he's all out. He can score on basically anyone. Just he's one takedown match. He got outpointed by John J. Chavez. Oh boy, it should be Zay no problem. Zay should cover this. No, I'm going with Isaiah. I think Isaiah by more than 3. I think he gets a riding time point, a takedown advantage, gets away. Even though Cam Coy's stingy.
All right, I lied. One more.
Get it.
Jaden Ironman last week had to rally to beat Mike Carr. Does he come out this week and say, I'm starting early? Jaden Ironman -6.5 to Darian Perry.
This is interesting. I think I'll take Jaden. I think he pins him.
Pinsley.
Yep.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Questions for friends.
Questions from
Q's-
friends, of which we have
Q's from
many.
F's.
Q's from F's.
So they've wrestled once before, and he pinned him.
All right, there we go. So I was already right, no matter what happens. Okay.
That's about the
Okay, this is a big one. Here's a big one. Matthew, at Mr. Studfleet. With NCAA wrestling back, what will be this year's major red shirt that should be pulled early? And what will the saying be with said wrestler that will be pulled? So 2 years ago, it was pull the bull. Last year, free the Lee. This year, open the stable for Gable. That's the one for me. Gable Steveson. I came up with it. You can't top it. Maybe there's a way to tighten up the verbiage, but stable, Gable,
It's a little wordy.
he's a horse. Oh, beat it. You're not beating it.
It's a little
I think
wordy.
you probably just go open the stable.
No. Because open the stable, we're just releasing livestock. No, it's a very specific
We'd get a-
it's a very specific steed that's being released.
We'd get a
Well, isn't
retweet
it-
from Flo Rodeo.
Isn't it a foregone conclusion?
No, it's not.
It's not. He Instagram storied. Everyone's asking me what I'm doing. The plan right now is for me to redshirt. He's like, I'm
Really?
in redshirt. But he ain't gonna redshirt. Come on. They're gonna open the stable.
How often are guys in red shirt, not Olympic red shirt, like regular red shirt, who could win NCAAs?
Well, sometimes
Not
Spencer Lee.
No, I mean it's the whole year.
Oh, for the whole year. Yeah, I don't know.
Not often, because even Zane,
Zane for sure.
but we don't know where he would have been that year theoretically,
I would've
because he was
picked
fifth
him.
the year before.
Yeah, but he would have been at 49. That was the year How to Shell won. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. It would have been him. He would have won. Don't be crazy. So yeah, open the stable for Gable. That's
I don't know. I think I have to come up with something special for.
well, is unstable a word? Unstable the Gable?
Well,
that makes it sound like he's not a stable person.
right. Unstable would be like he's got like stuff going on.
He's got stability issues.
Yeah.
There's no one more stable than Gable. It works on multiple levels. So try to beat it. If you can beat it, last year Askren had Get Fix in the mix. That wasn't. You're not going to beat it. Clear the table for Gable from the control room. Caleb Blakeman off the top room.
I kind of like that because all the kids like let's eat.
He is. So clear the table for Gable. And he probably does clear the table because he's a large man.
Right.
He doesn't. Well, he cleans the plate. He don't clear the table. Gable sits back and lets others clean the table.
Yeah, he cleans
he's
the
done.
plate. He cleans the plate. Good point. Good point. So that's it. That's the big true freshman that will be pulled. Hopefully, that should be. We're 1 for 1 here, or 1 for 2. The bull was not pulled, but the Lee was freed. Actually, 2 Lees were freed last year at our request. Nicholas and Spencer. So this year,
Good thing we didn't go freeze the Lees though, because then that would have been backwards for both Lees.
Oh boy.
all right. Next question. Our
Speaking of
favorite.
unstable.
Hey, as soon and you know what? I now regret not answering Sam's question earlier because we had about 4 or 5 solid weeks of him asking about who's number 1 for the middle school level. Because he follows up with a great question. Samwise _2006. Seth Gross started with the Brands Brothers and Morning Stars as his coaches. Then he had Bono and Shop, and now he has Han. Would you say the number of coach changes has helped or hurt him more? Well, whoops, lost my earpiece. But in general, I think it is probably ideal to have the same coaching staff to be in the same system for your 4 or 5 year run. But I do think there is something to be said for a diverse coaching staff, right? Guys with different backgrounds working with you. I think, I don't think it's bad that he had the Brands Brothers and he had Bono and now has Damian Hahn, but I don't think it is necessarily a good thing. I think in general, it's good to have the same group of guys.
I mean, it's hard to say it's not better to have the same group of guys because there's not much data on guys being good that had this kind of turnover, right? I mean, how many guys have gone through this kind of coaching changes? I mean, I think that AJ Shop did very well for Seth Gross. his evolution. You got to remember that Seth Gross he went through an evolution, so to speak.
Oh, yes.
He certainly wasn't. Now, he was a number one guy in the country at some point, so number two. Actually, I don't think he was ever number one. He wrestled at Who's Number One in a 4-man group after winning Fargo, but he won Fargo. That was surprising that he won Fargo.
And the next year, I'm pretty sure he didn't win Fargo.
But he won Fargo like 3 times.
Well, not in juniors, right?
Yes.
The year he won Fargo in juniors, it was a really good bracket, and it sort of solidified him as the top of the pecking order. I mean, the point being is nobody saw this coming out of Seth Gross, and if you're saying you did, I'm calling you a liar.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, in general, what my main thing is, I think every coaching staff should have very diverse. So it's good to have diverse backgrounds and like where your staff is from and the style they wrestled, so that you can better complement your different athletes. So good question by Sam.
The last thing on that, it's always interesting to me when you have a guy who, like what I said, went through an evolution and had a coach who had a clear impact on him, which was Shop, right, in terms of workout partner. Obviously, Bono and Reeder did as well. And then Shop left, and Gross was able to maintain and even get a little better and win a national title. Mm-hmm. So, and that's nothing against AJ. Just it was really interesting to me that he was able to maintain that same level without a guy who clearly helped him get there.
Yeah. Okay, Mike Wilson, you open your mailbox and see a letter to sit on the El Chapo jury. What region of Russia are you moving your family to? Well, you know what, Mike? I'm gonna be the voice of reason, because
you'd get dismissed because they would see all of this El Chapo love.
No, they wouldn't.
Christian isn't moving.
I'm not moving. I'm
Christian
sitting
ain't
on the
moving.
jury.
You'd be dismissed.
He's raising his hand. It's like, El Chapo, I'm on the jury, bro.
Yeah, I got you. No, because
Give me the phone.
they won't even let him hug his wife, according to Bracky. He posts something in here.
They won't.
Someone needs to be a voice of reason for El Chapo. Maybe he's done some things. Maybe he's just misunderstood. I would be a very unbiased juror. As many of you know, for long listeners of FRL, I have a somewhat of a dream of one day being a fugitive on the run. Like Harrison Ford, I did not kill my wife type of situation, but not something so dastardly, right? But, maybe accused of like fraud or something like that. And I walk into like a gas station or something, and I'm getting ready to pay for something, and there's a TV on behind me, and I hear that I'm on the run, and the security or the clerk looks at me and looks at the TV, and then I know that she knows, and then boom, it's on. I'm a fugitive on the run. Okay.
He's thought about this way too long.
Yeah.
He's said this before on here. I'm trying to
for
find
years.
the episode.
Yeah, I know I've said it on here before.
No, Matt, he probably said it on here before you were hired.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Facts.
No, because I was in the room. Yeah, I was in the room.
I've talked. No, I remember I did it from my basement, and you were not here.
No, we may have done that, but you also did it when I was in the room.
Well, yeah, I bring it up frequently because it's still a dream, and I'm not letting the dream die. Maybe one day I'll be a fugitive on the run. Now, I think I would have been a lot better off in Virginia. I think I could have got off the grid. In Texas, every road is a camera every 4 seconds. I don't know. I may have to live in the wilderness. It'd be hard to.
No, you just got to get out of the city in Texas.
I don't know where I'm going. Yeah.
That's probably the.
I only drive.
How's the cops gonna know if you don't know?
That's a good point. Yeah. All right. Maybe I'd make it. So yeah, El Chapo jury. I'll be there. Another important question.
This one's real important.
Steely Phil. Robles is going for the world record 61 pull-ups in 1 minute. Not bad. Could you four beat 61 in a minute if you combine your totals?
You can count on 1 or 2 from me.
You can't get to 6?
I can get 6.
In a minute? Just one every 10 seconds.
Okay, give me 6.
All right, you're in for 6. What are you in for, Bracky?
20.
20?
Yeah, I was gonna say we need somebody to get to 20
Well,
because
I've got 30.
Well,
put me in for 32.
Now hold on. Here's the here's my question.
No man's gonna let us down.
No, is it all 4 of us each get a minute for a total of 4 minutes, or is it we get 15 seconds?
No. We all get a minute, and we're combining.
Oh, if we all get a minute, yes, we can.
What can we put you
definitely
down
get to
for?
it.
In 1 minute.
In 1 minute.
I think you're gonna let us
I
down.
bet no.
I'm being honest. Like when I
So
read this
we
question,
need
I
to
was
average
like,
15. No, Willie's letting us down. He's getting 6.
I don't think.
I guarantee you.
I'm not sure you'll get
getting
6.
double him.
Can you get 6?
Yes.
We're gonna go out and
You
we're
can
gonna
get
find
12?
out.
How many can you get?
Then we just crushed it.
Yeah, I guarantee you, I would double Willie.
All right, you're in for double Willie, so if he gets 2, you'll get 4.
Should I be concerned about Willie getting 6?
Yes,
Oh,
you
yeah.
should be concerned about Willie getting 6.
When's the last time you did pull-ups, Willie?
I don't care. I'm fat, but I'm strong. I'm strong as hell.
Fat, but
I'm fat, but I got like farmer strength, dude.
yeah. Most farmers.
Actually, now I'm
I
worried
can
about my
do.
shoulder.
Oh, now he's worried about his shoulder.
I told you.
No, because now I'm actually thinking about it. Because
Oh my gosh.
what I had to do like rapid fire pull-ups in.
What have you
several
done?
No,
years.
you don't have to do rapid fire pull-ups. If you do 2 every 10 seconds, we'll have 20 from you.
What have you done to injure your shoulder since CP hurt it 2
No, but
years
that's
ago?
that's what it is.
It just hasn't healed.
You have a
tore your
injury from-
rotator cuff. You just haven't had surgery on it.
Dude,
You have a lingering injury from 2016
Yes,
U.S.
it-
Open
it-
from
it is
wrestling
bad.
Christian Piles?
it's bad. I'm telling you.
Dude, when you talk to
This is
chicks,
unreal.
when you talk to chicks and you talk about your bum shoulder, be like, yeah, I heard it at the U.S. Open.
I could probably do 5, then take like a 20-second break to do 5-ish. Right? So I think we can get it with us 3. If Christian balls out.
I'll ball out. Lee Roper doesn't think I can. He's immediately texts me. 32? Come on. Ha, 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 ha. It's like 4 more ha's than are necessary, Lee. Just be like, just drop a LOL.
I'm going to be honest with you. 32 sounded high to me too, but I have seen you rip them out.
I can get,
He does pull-ups a lot, so that's why I believe him.
I do a lot of pull-ups. I do pull-ups every single day. And if I knew it was like a day I needed to be fresh, take a couple days off, I don't know. But I don't know how fast I do them. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll time myself today.
That's part of it. Is like, how often have you actually like timed yourself doing pull-ups?
What's up with all these questions about our physical capabilities?
I don't know. People are
The
curious.
next question is who would win a 100-meter dash, me or Piles?
What an easy question.
Yeah, that's not even close.
Yeah.
Have you seen me?
How many? Is it rolling down a hill? 100 meter? It's a 100-meter fall. It could be competitive. That's from the defensive pin. Bort Hart. No, I don't want to. That one. Maybe. Jake Intrater. Not a fake name. I said it was a fake name. We get a lot of fake names here. So sorry, Jake. I just have never heard that last name.
Intrader.
Intrader.
He sounds like he's from.
Insider trading. He worked at Enron. Figured it out. Jake worked at Enron. He just got out from his felony charge for whatever happened to Enron. Okay, 2 questions. 1, would Ironman be better off at 149? Could he win an NCAA title there? Yes. 2, thoughts on Meredith making 61 for AWL? Ouch, are my thoughts for Bryce Meredith, because he was a big 41. But he made 33 at NC State.
It also made it sound like there'd be an allowance.
Oh, yeah, there's an allowance. It's 63.
Because, yeah, if it's 63, then it's only 3 pounds later.
And
And he
it's-
made 1 hour.
And it's also an 8-hour weigh-in or something like that.
Yeah.
So, all right, yeah. Bryce has got
Hey,
it.
is Dake and Taylor wrestling? I don't know.
I don't
No.
Are
know.
they?
No. They're not.
Okay.
They're just the pickers.
Mm-hmm.
There's the fantasy coaches. Basically, they're the Willie Sailors of dual wrestling.
I'm amazing at fantasy.
We know.
What else?
Do you guys agree that Ironman would be better off at 49? I think it's the Suriano 25-33 question. I think it's harder to win 141, but there's fewer guys that can beat him. I think at 49 there's more guys that could beat Jaden, but I think there's no one Yanni level. And I think McKenna's going to continue to be a very tough matchup. McKenna, honestly, he never hit Yanni last year. I will not stop saying that is the toughest matchup for Yanni, and he was last year too.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's what I feel about young Jaden. All right, what's going on with ASU at 165? Asks Chase White. Shields listed at 65, wrestled off at 65. What's that mean for Valencia? And we've been told, hey, Valencia redshirt, Valencia redshirt, Valencia redshirt. Yet on November 6, 2018, in the year of the Lord, young Anthony tweeted, no trainer, coach, or doctor can tell me how my body feels. I am true to myself and I'm ready to go, just waiting to get cleared. Hashtag surgery, hashtag 7 months ago, hashtag way too long, hashtag 2019 NCAA champ.
There's a lot of hashtags.
It's a lot of hashtags, a lot of thoughts. And so I don't know what the plan is. He wants to wrestle, but he doesn't say 165 here necessarily.
Correct.
But I don't know what weight he would go if not 65. Certainly can't go 57, right?
Also
Can he go
correct.
74?
Is he getting a medical red shirt?
Is he going to wrestle
Or
off
what?
his brother?
No.
No.
What if Zahid goes up?
Well, if he
Thi-
goes 57.
This tweet just seems bad for team morale or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this is
They're not necessarily synced up here.
yeah.
Normally it's
Why
like,
is it that when you
Only
have
we
a lot
had,
of hashtags, it's almost you're going nuts?
yeah.
The more hashtags you have, it's like the less mentally.
If only
stable.
we had people on the ground there the past few days.
Oh yeah. You know what? Well, so there's a lot going on at Arizona State. There's questions about like Brandon Courtney right now. Mason Smith's gone. If Holmes and Mike don't come back with the scoop for all
Seriously.
three of those things, I'm gonna be furious.
They
Furious.
They went somewhere sometime, didn't come back with a scoop.
Yeah, they don't. They're not.
There was a
they're
Joe
not
Smith
scoop
issue
guys.
last year.
Yeah.
They're not scoop guys. They're like, what's going on with this?
Let's get
with
the
this
good
rap
content,
arm
guys.
Single. We're like, hey, who's making out with who's doing what? Is somebody leave the program? Somebody dropping a 65? They're like,
What's the scuttlebutt?
Like, I don't know. I could text him. Like, well, you were just next to him. All right, wait. Let's reserve. We don't know this yet, Willie. What is the story behind how Nomad got his nickname Wrestling Nomad? Well, I'll tell you. He gave
the
himself
story.
that Nomad.
Told the story a lot.
nickname.
he gave it to himself.
He gave it to himself, and
Like a fraud.
it's stuck. Yeah, you can't give yourself a nickname.
He drove to one tournament and said he was Wrestling Nomad. He gave himself the name Wrestling Nomad without leaving the state of Maryland. Maybe
Yeah.
Baltimore County.
Yeah, he might have stayed in the county and called himself a Nomad. All right, I can see that happening. Other questions we've got from friends. So, SB Child of God asks,
There's a lot of stuff happening there.
a lot to take in. In his bio, I'm pretty sure it just said pastor. So he's a reverend. So why not Ohio State ranked 2? Likely 6A and 2 potential champs, Miles and Joey/Micah. You're right. I don't know why. In my mind, you're right. Yep, it just says pastor.
Is he asking in
They
the
are
actual
ranked.
rankings
No,
or
he-
in your mind?
I think he listened to FRL, and I scoffed at them at number 2, and he's saying, well, why would you scoff at this? 6 All-Americans, 3 potential champs, really?
Yeah, you did scoff.
I scoffed, and perhaps I shouldn't have. I just don't view with Iowa and Oklahoma State, they have a lot of guys where they're not earning a lot of ranking points right now, but we can see big trajectory and big possibilities. I just don't see that with Ohio State at heavyweight, at
Well-
125. What?
Well, who are your guys from Iowa that are way above what they're ranked right now?
Warner, potentially.
Warner's ranked like 12th.
12 is basically negligible points at NCAAs.
Yeah,
Well, how many? But okay, so how many? What do you think his ceiling is? Not do you think what he'll get? Because what do you think his ceiling is for NCAA? this
Ceiling
year?
at 97 is probably 1.
No. Stop.
Bo Nickel.
Ceiling,
then.
absolute ceiling is 2, but it's probably more like 3 or 4. Because I think Colin Moore is probably removed. But, Jacob Holschlag, number 4. Willie Miklas, number 5. He beat Willie Miklas.
So
He
you're
beat
saying
number
as
5.
many as like plus 13 points from what he is right now?
Yeah, for one person. That's 1. What's DeSanto rank? What's, Murin could potentially
DeSanto's
climb.
ranked 9th.
Oh, Pat Lugo. Where's Lugo? Lugo could win.
Lugo's 6th. Lugo's probably the one.
Okay.
I don't know. I think they're kind of
Lugo's
close
not
to what
the
they
one.
are. I think a lot of them are kind of close to what they are.
What'd you say about Lugo?
Lugo's not the one that you look at and say that's a bunch more points.
It's some more.
I mean,
some
it-
more
it is.
potentially.
It is some, but Warner's
6-1?
going from like 2 points to potentially 15.
Okay, well, Caleb Young is earning 0. I see potential there now, obviously.
Yeah.
Marinelli's 4th. He beat the champ. I don't know. 74. Kimmer's ranked 6. That's about right. Cash Wilkie, whatever. I don't know. I think that team beats Ohio State. Okay? Fight me. I know you don't like them, Nomad. You're not going to influence me. You're not going to make me hate Iowa.
I said when we did the thing that they were the clear number 2, but all right. So hold on. I don't know. 6 to 1 is the difference of another dozen points, which is about the same as what you're saying the ceiling is for Warner.
Yeah.
And I think Lugo's more likely than Warner to make that level of jump.
Okay. Would you give Michael Jarman, probably a real name, would you give RBY higher or lower than 50% chance to A this year? That's a good question. Higher. Whoa. More than 50-50 shot.
I'm not saying it's like 80, but I would say over 50.
Here's the thing. Seth Gross, Nick Suriano, Stefan Micic, Tariq Wilson, Luke Pletcher, Ethan Lezak, Scott Parker, Montori Bridges, Austin DeSanto, Dayton Fix, John Ernesty. Oh my gosh. And you're saying better than 50? I say 50 is about the highest you can go.
We also have Vito ranked 19th, who beat him in freestyle at U23 finals.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm Mr. RBY, I thought, until he comes in with a higher. He is all in Kyle Bradke.
I like him.
I like him too. It's just like, hey, he'll figure it out come NCAAs. I think 50% is about as high as I'll go in reality. I mean,
I think it's 50%, and I think it's 50% based on the fact that somebody is going to get knocked off, and they're going to have. I mean, he's not. I mean, in the pecking order, what is he, 12th right now?
Well, he's not ranked, but
I know, but in
perception-wise,
yeah, I would put him behind John Ernesty, but ahead of Dylan Duncan for sure.
That's what I'm saying. So he probably has 50 to get to a blood round match and win.
Yeah.
But not much more than that.
Man, if he doesn't, that hurts. Oh wow, Ryan Holmes defending himself. Wow, thanks for the confidence. You'll now get nothing from me. Sorry, Holmes.
get nothing and like it.
We have to like it. All right, so that's RBY. That's my thought. I'm saying 50. He says more than 50, so 99% from Bracky. Where's your percentage, Nomad?
Yeah, I'm under 50. Like RBY gonna be awesome. 33, not fun.
Goodness gracious, that's the best weight. That's going to be the most fun weight in years. I mean, I don't know. You stack it up. Is there a more competitive, more credentialed weight? That is a fun freaking weight.
Yep.
Suriano and Fix make the weight. On its own, makes that weight more interesting than almost every other weight. Then you throw in all the other dudes. My TR50's on the fritz, Willie. Hold on. I got to hold more still.
Get somebody to look at that.
Yeah, I need to. It's the little box
it's
thing.
It's a transom.
Transcoding defibrillator.
Yeah. Transponster.
Okay. What transfer makes the biggest jump in their new environment this year? Says an NC State fan. He goes, hint Justin Oliver. Biggest jump. Well, he was already an All-American.
Yeah.
So basically, are you saying, does Justin Oliver become a title contender?
AA R12.
So I say... Maybe.
I say...
Who else?
Dakota Gear.
I say DeSanchis.
I like both those.
I like Gear.
Yeah.
Oh, of course you don't like Austin. Yeah, Gear. I think he's for sure could do well. It looks like he'll probably be the starter. He may be wrestling off Joe Smith or competing with the coach's son for the spot, which makes things difficult. But they're going to go with the best guy, right?
Your classic 57 to 84 jump.
Yeah, we've seen it 1,000 times. Yeah, so we'll see. Okay, it's about time to go. But the FRL Inquisitor. Oh, someone else DM'd me that they made an account for FRL only. So I need to read that question because we've said we would reward that. Going to be in Austin this weekend with my inquisitorial family. What should we do? And for that, for all things Austin, we go to Wrestling Nomad for recommendations. What would you do if you were bringing your inquisitive family to Austin, Texas?
I would eat a lot of Mexican food.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to South Congress. South Congress is awesome, and just spend a few hours there, shopping and eating and stuff, seeing the sights, riding around on the electric scooters. And
Stay off the sidewalk.
Yeah, you got yelled at. Did we talk about you getting yelled at?
I got literally F-bombed out for riding an electric scooter on the sidewalk.
Which you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, well, you know what? Bike lanes are stupid until there are walls in between them. I'm sorry. I'm taking a hard stance on this. Bikers, you know what? If you want to bike to work, awesome. Don't do it next to 2-ton vehicles that can travel 60 miles an hour and accidentally kill you.
Here's the thing. He said some zany things over the years. He's right on. You are putting your life in your hands for a workout every single day. They banned the sauna in NCAA wrestling. Meanwhile, you can ride down South Congress in major streets 1 foot from a semi-truck.
As far apart as Christian and I are, you can be right next to a semi-truck, next to a county bus, right, that Spay owns a 15% stake in. On a bike, you don't have a right to be on the road unless you have a motor in your vehicle. I'm sorry.
Wow.
How about on Friday, Saturday nights when they have these freaking rickshaws that go two miles an hour?
They take up the whole road. You know,
The pedicabs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like pedicab.
So you like the pedicab?
The pedicab though.
They literally are in the lane.
they're in the road.
Yeah.
I've had ones that were.
No, they're too big to fit in the bike lane, no, man.
No, not in the bike lane, but I'm saying like on sidewalk and whatnot.
You've seen a pedicab on a sidewalk.
I've taken pedicab on sidewalk. I don't remember. I don't remember. I haven't taken pedicab in a while, but I don't remember it being a safety issue with the cars.
Credit for being on point, and then you're gonna go there and just lie.
Just straight lie to America.
It's not. I don't lie. It's not lying. It's I don't remember. I haven't taken the pedicab in I don't know, a
You
year and a half.
said it was
so-
on the sidewalk.
Yeah, it's what I remember. I could be misremembering. I'm not lying. No, I'm not lying, but I'm saying but
All right.
it could possibly be on the sidewalk.
You unintentionally lied, but you did lie. But it's okay because you
All right,
didn't mean it. There's no
Meyer.
malice. There's no malice behind it. You misremembered.
I mean, they were on the road, but I also remember being there parts not on the road.
Okay, I'm ready to move on from this.
Take a pedicab.
Okay,
FL Inquisitor.
Adam Rush. He says, FRL question. I don't think it'll happen, but if Sag Alive goes down to 86 for 2020, and assuming Taylor makes a team, who do you got? P.S. I made a Twitter for this. Thank you, Adam Rush, for following our instructions. Who do you got? I'm taking Sajalayev for right now, but
too.
it's definitely a thing. Someone else asked, like, what would we set the line at? And here's the thing. By 2020, what Taylor have continued to emerge and improve the way he has. Where's his trajectory? And, will Sajalayev be starting his descent down? I don't know. I'll say Sajalayev, I would take him in a match by 1.5, 2.5, I think is the line. But it's definitely a thing, and I don't see Taylor getting 10-0'd. Although I think just stylistically, if you're trying to build a wrestler to beat David Taylor, Sajalayev checks a lot of those boxes.
He's
super
built
strong.
He is a tank.
He's literally, it's an accurate nickname, the Russian tank.
It's hard to get to his legs, too.
Yeah, he's tough to get to. He's got to get him real tired. And he does that. He gets guys tired. He'd have to get him real tired.
I would basically take Sajalayev in any match.
Yeah.
Against anyone, even possibly Kyle Snyder at times. But I just don't see any way he goes down to 86 ever again, especially same-day weigh-in.
Yeah, that's a good point, too.
So I don't think this will... I mean, it's a fun thing to talk about, but that seems very unlikely to me.
Chris Wessel says Tuesday and Thursday drive to work so much better with FRL. Not a question, just throwing it out there. Gee, thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Nice of you.
man.
Hope you. Hey, drive safe. Watch out
That's
for.
a true statement.
Watch out for bikers.
It's a true statement.
For pedicabs
It's also
and sidewalks.
yeah. It's also not. Well, I'll tell you what's not true. That there was a pedicab on a sidewalk.
Yes.
You've never... Okay. There's definitely been parts of rides of pedicabs that didn't solely
needs to
occur in
stop.
the road.
Hey, no-
Where? In Thailand?
Where did
No,
they?
in Austin.
No. Well, where did they occur if they didn't occur in the road?
No, like getting picked up or like 10, 15, 20% of the ride is on the sidewalk. Like not the whole thing is in the...
Nope. Absolutely not.
All right, well, I don't know. I haven't taken one in a year and a half, but I don't remember the whole time it being on...
Who can remember that far back, Willie? Jeez.
I'm saying I don't remember the whole time it being on the road.
All right.
Well, you started with saying that it was on the sidewalk.
All right, let's stop. Willie,
Yeah,
you guys
that's where I
are
got picked
Stop. Stop, guys. You're just saying the same things for 2 minutes.
It's because it's
I know.
possible.
Okay. Just stop. Brad Cravens, Willie's favorite. Which is better, a sauna or a steam room? I think saunas are better. Although, if I get a little cold, steam room's nice. Opens you up a little bit. But
I'll give you a third option.
both.
Dive bar.
Willie's great for all the for all your health
Haymakers
questions.
on non-soccer days.
Okay.
Yeah, true. No,
That's
true.
it. That's the show. I'm calling it. I'm canceling the rest of the show at 9:05. Just because I'm so scared you're going to talk about that thing again. Caleb, in the control room command center, Delta Force Squadron. Feel free to play.
Caleb was
our
so
outro
mad.
music.
Caleb was so mad. In our earpiece, he said, "No, not true." There's never
Yeah,
been a
even
petty
Caleb knows that there's no petty cash. We want to thank, Willie doesn't want us to be thankful on FRL, but I'm thankful.
Yes, I do.
I'm thankful for the Wrestling Nomad Kyle Brackey and even Willie Saylor. I'm thankful for ASICS. I'm thankful for Wrestling This Weekend and Frank Papalizio and his Journeyman events.
Yes, I'm thankful for Journeyman too. I'm thankful for BetDSI. I can bet on wrestling.
Okay.
Me too. I'm thankful that our long 4 days without college wrestling ends tonight with North Dakota State and Northern Illinois live
Yeah.
on Flow.
I'm thankful we have events every day from now till Sunday. North Dakota State, Frenzy at the Fieldhouse, Journeyman, both Saturday and Sunday, National Middle School Duels, and Arizona State, South Dakota State.
Very exciting times. And then next week is absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah.
We should have FRL every day.
Maybe.
For 4 hours. Because I don't know, we're not going to be able to get it all in just a couple hours. It's going to be amazing. Buckle up for that. What? What now?
Bracketology next week, kids.
Allegedly, bracketology.
It's happening.
I'll believe it when I see
It's
it.
happening.
Thank you, guys. We'll be back next Tuesday. Come heck or high water. Thank you. See you next time.